Ladies and gentlemen, I am only going to talk to you just for a minute or so this evening because I have some very sad news for all of you, and I think sad news for all of our fellow citizens and people who love peace all over the world, and that is that Martin Luther King was shot and killed tonight in Memphis, Tennessee. Martin Luther King dedicated his life to love and to justice between fellow human beings. He died in the cause of the effort in this difficult day and the difficult time for the United States. It's perhaps well to ask what kind of nation we are and what direction we want to move in. We can move into that direction as a country in a greater polarization, black people amongst blacks and white amongst whites, filled with hatred toward one another, or we can make an effort, as Martin Luther King did, to understand and comprehend and replace that violence and stained bloodshed that has spread across our land with an effort to understand, compassion, and love. But we have to make an effort in the United States. We have to make an effort to understand, to get beyond these rather difficult times. My favorite poet was Aeschylus. He once wrote, "Even in our steps pain, which cannot forget falls drop to drop into the heart, in our own despair against our will comes wisdom through the awful grace of God." What we need in the United States is not division. What we need in the United States is not hatred. What we need in the United States is not violence and lawlessness, but is love and wisdom and compassion toward one another, and a feeling of justice toward those who still suffer within our country, whether they be white or whether be black. So I ask you tonight to return home, to say a prayer for the family of Martin Luther King. Yeah, that's true, but more importantly, to say prayer for our own country. Well, all of us, a prayer for understanding and the compassion of which I spoke. We can do well in this country. We will have difficult times. We've had difficult times in the past, and we will have difficult times in the future. It is not the end of violence. It is not the end of lawlessness, and it is not the end of disorder. But the vast majority of white people and the vast majority of black people in this country want to live together, want to improve the quality of our life, and want justice for all human beings and abide in our land. Let us dedicate ourselves to what the Greeks wrote so many years ago, to tame the savageness of man and make gentle the life of this world. Let us dedicate ourselves to that and say a prayer for our country and for the people. Thank you very much. This was by Robert F. Kennedy, April 4th, 1968, which still until this day touches our heart for what Martin Luther King did for our country. I hope you liked the speech, and thank you very much.